Hello and good morning, everyone, depending on where you're listening to this show. My name is Boshaga, and I'm your host for today's Shout Show. And good morning if you are from the East Coast, and good afternoon if you are from Asia, and of course, the rest of the world. Today, I'm joined with a very interesting guest. We have got Yasmina Al Ayash, and there's something really fascinating about her is that at a very young age, she has gone into so many incredible stuff. Just to share with you a little bit, she has participated in TechGirls, which is a very, very renowned program. It's an international summer exchange program designed to empower and inspire young women from the United States, Central Asia, the Middle East, North Africa to pursue careers in science and technology. Now, Yasmina here is from Lebanon, and I'm very curious about the situation there. My heart goes out to all of those who've faced a lot of misery, a lot of trying times, especially with COVID happening and all. Yasmina, how are you doing? How are things happening?
First of all, hello, and it's such a pleasure for me to be here. I'm honestly doing great, even though the situation here in Lebanon is heartbreaking. People are living on the streets or in the homes of their other relatives or friends. People lost their homes, they lost their business, their cars. It's honestly heartbreaking here.
And like, how are you coping along with the situation? Because like from what we see from the news, sometimes we don't get the bigger picture. And I think your Prime Minister Hassan Diab he made a statement saying that things are under control, but it's really hard to put it into perspective. So, is it the same? What we see on TV versus what's really happening over there?
Yes, part of it is true, and part of it, it's just for showing the good side of what's happening here. But people here are still like, there are still 52 people missing. They don't know where they are, their location, if they're still under the fallen buildings or where exactly. Several people have lost their lives. Um, more like I don't know. It's really heartbreaking. There's not like no way I can describe it except for saying it's heartbreaking. And under control, I don't think it really is that way yet, but hopefully it will be.
Yeah, it's one crazy year 2020 is. And you are in Beirut, right?
No, I'm far a bit from Beirut, but once things got that way, like several people from all around Lebanon got there, and we all stood together hand in hand and cleaned the glass off the streets. Only like the youth, people volunteering everywhere. It's amazing.
I'm so glad, especially the youth coming in together, our next generation, and to see
Hmm.
that they still have that kind of compassion, to join in and to help.
Exactly.
Speaking about that, we've got quite a bit of questions from our audience here, and I thought instead of for me to explain, it's better for you to share from your side. So, kind of, could you like maybe bring us back to the past, how you first started on your projects, and why did you get into like tech girls? Was it like a dream that you wanted to get into, or was it something that just happened? Maybe you could like bring us back and paint in the picture of how things led up to where they are.
Yeah, sure. My journey started around 3 to 4 years ago. Once I got into high school, and I'm currently 18 years old. So ever since then, I've been passionate about the STEM field and curious about it. So I've started joining several workshops, several boot camps. I came across an opportunity on Facebook, and my mom sent it to me saying try to apply. So I did, and the next day it came like the results came out, and I took a sponsorship to a boot camp called Solve 24, and that's where my journey started, I can say. The boot camp was amazing. Um, it's called Solve 24 because you have to identify a problem, and then you have to invent a solution within 24 hours. So it was divided on 2 weeks, but it was a great experience for me. It also elaborated on design thinking, innovation, creativity, that all led to building a prototype of the solution we came up with, me and my team. Next, I started being passionate about public speaking, a bit about politics. So I've joined several conferences, one for model, it's called Model European Union. So it's actually a model of the European Union. And I took the country of France and I had to speak out for my country and defend it. Next, I joined also Model Arab League. It's the same process, but it maintained it needed a strong personality and a back experience. So that's where my journey actually started. And after that, I have joined several workshops. Like, I never miss an opportunity. Anything, I'm ready for it. I'm always ready for workshops. And then while I was in Solve 24, the girls there, or the founders, they got inspired by who I am. They really liked my personality. And after that, they were alumni of Tech Women, which is a similar program to Tech Girls. So they told me about Tech Girls, and they told me that it would be great for me to apply, for it opens like several opportunities ahead of me. And I actually did. When the applications got open, I applied, and I got the opportunity to travel to America, and it was amazing. Yani, it was
Yeah,
all about the STEM field.
I can imagine completely change your life. I mean, for our audience here, actually, Yasmin and I, we share something really interesting. We're both international exchange alumni, and I think we connected when I sent you that email a couple of months ago on, hey, we're doing this project on the Guinness World Records. Would you like to join? And yeah, it's very interesting that we share that background. So Washington D.C., 3 weeks in.
Yeah, so the experience there, it was great. It started, we went to Washington, D.C., where we had a tour in the capital. We went to visit the Congress. We visited Capitol Hill, and I had the opportunity to present a speech there, representing all the MENA region, all the
Nice.
girls there. Yeah, it was great. Um, and then we were having project planning sessions on how to plan a project, because whenever the workshop was over, the program, I mean, was over, we had to come back to our countries and actually do a project here to help our community. And next, we went to Virginia Tech, where it was magical. We were we got introduced to cybersecurity and hacking, encryption, all these stuff. It was really magical. It's something I'm really passionate about. And we also had a week of training. It's an intensive college training about game programming and JavaScript, using JavaScript. So, with all that, it was a great experience meeting 62 girls from 11 different countries and having to network with amazing people. I also had the opportunity to visit NASA Goddard Center, which is like, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I even got the chance to job shadow at Google. So I've spent a day
Uh,
there, and it was one of the most inspiring days of my life. I met a great guy there. He works there. He's called Johnny Bailey, and he said something to me that for now, like, I have it on a paper hang up in my room. He looked at me and he told me, "You're gonna change the world someday." So
oh
this was
wow,
so motivational. Hmm.
I can imagine. Oh, I just have so many questions. Like you just like boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
go ahead.
So many fires going on. Okay, so many things going on. Okay, wait. First, I want to ask you about like your time in DC. I want to ask you like you just mentioned sharing at Google, but before that, you mentioned initially you started off with like tech women, and then you had to figure out a solution in souls. Was that? Would you mind like sharing like what was the problem, and like how did you figure out to the solution at that part?
Okay, so we had to come up with the problem and the solution to identify the problem by using design thinking and every other skill we have learned throughout the bootcamp. So at first, the main problem was back pain, and the story was that an old lady wasn't able to move stuff all around her house, so because she suffered from back pain. And we were divided into several teams. My team and I came up with a solution of moving tiles so that in the house it could be uh, projected in the house and built up on it. So whenever the old lady wanted to move a chair or a table, it had a system programmed so that the tiles would move. Like the tiles are numbered, and there's a software that would help you figure out the puzzle for how the tile should move around to reach like a
That's
specific
that's so
place.
cool. That's so cool. So like the
Yeah,
house rearranges itself in a way.
exactly.
Nice.
Mm.
Um, this I find it really interesting because I am currently, doing my civil engineering, bachelor civil engineering, and at the same time, I'm also very active in programming. So I do a lot of HTML, CSS,
Mhm.
JavaScript, Python, artificial intelligence, Raspberry, things like that. Not. I'm sure you've done like a lot more, but I can relate to that in some ways, and how tedious it can be getting like a physical system working within a software thing. So, wow, well done. If you guys did you guys like manage to pull it off? Did you like manage to
We
build
made a
working for?
prototype. Yeah, we made a prototype, but we didn't actually like build one. We made it out of cardboard, and we didn't actually make the system. But throughout the bootcamp, we did learn how to work on Arduino,
Yep,
so that was helpful as well.
sweet.
Mm.
Oh, okay, cool. I want to kind of switch gears a little bit to like your time at TechGirls, and then we've got like a lot of questions here from our very excited audience.
Mm.
Uh, when you mentioned like one of your friend, your seniors mentioned about TechGirls to you, and then you applied to it, right? And then the announcement came in. All right, Yasmina, you're in. Congratulations.
Yes,
What
exactly.
was
Thank
what was it in your mind before leaving, and how did
you.
you feel after coming? I know that's a
First,
very big question. There's so
yes,
many
it
things to
is.
answer. But have you been to the US before that, or was that like your
No,
first
I
time?
haven't. It was my first time, so I had the full experience.
And
Yeah, so at first it was you have to apply for it to fill the application form, and you have to wait for them to come back to you with a result that you have passed the first phase. And after passing the first phase, there's a second phase, which is the interview. So I guess I'm not sure of the number, but I think 135 girls applied here from Lebanon, and only 15 girls were accepted to the next phase for doing the interview. So in the interview, we were 15 or 14 girls. Um, and after that, each one was like interviewed individually. So after the interview, an email came, and it was the final result that congratulations, you're going to the US. So that
interesting.
was a big moment for me.
And these interviews were at the US Embassy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
y-
Okay, then
So
it's
when the
similar, sort of similar to the YC ones. Go on.
yeah, I
So
think.
when the email came in, then
Yeah, when the email came in, I was actually at school. I was still at school. So they called my mother first and they told her the huge news, and they sent me an email. So once I came home, my mom opened the door for me and started recording me on her phone. And I was like, "What's going on? Why are you recording me? Just stop it." So I checked my phone, and there were several notifications. So I didn't like immediately realize that I didn't see the email. at first. So I was like, "What's wrong? Why did you tell me to check my phone? What's happening? And why are you recording me?" I was so confused. So after seeing the email, I started crying and like shouting out of happiness and jumping. It was a
Yeah,
huge
man.
moment for me.
I mean, I feel you. I feel you. I can sort of relate. Like when I got my result for Y series, it's kind of similar. Like you mentioned the interviews and all, and you just don't
Mhm.
expect, right? You're just like, I'm gonna try my best. If it
Yes,
happens, it
exactly.
happens. If it doesn't, it's okay. And then suddenly you get it, and then you're like, wow, I have to really,
That's true.
yeah, I know. And when you get there, right, it's another feeling. You start feeling like I have to make use of this opportunity. They believe in me, and now I have to come back and I have to do something. I've got to help a lot of people.
True.
So yeah, I'm sure you understand that too. So when you were there, right? So and then you flew, you went over. The I believe the program was very intense on coding also, right? You had to do a lot of coding. You had to learn a lot. You had to be mingle around with a lot of different people. Could you maybe like share a little bit about like what you did over there? Maybe some of the best moments.
Well, personally, the best moment was my job shadow day at Google.
Okay, let's
Nothing
talk
can
about
like
that.
overcome this.
Let's talk
And
about that.
I also had the chance to like at first, my first big moment there was when I was recognized from the staff members for my leadership skills, and I was chosen to present a speech amongst 9 other girls.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh
you
my
can
God.
hear me, right?
Yeah, Yasmin, I think we
Okay.
lost you for like 10 seconds. Well, sorry,
Yes, it
would you mind repeating that again?
Okay, so I was saying that my first big moment, it wasn't that big, but for me, it kind of mattered. It did matter, and it was when I was recognized by the staff members for my leadership skills, and I was chosen to be a group leader on 9 other girls from the Tech Girls. So that was my first big moment, and after that, um, I'm still trying to like get back to it, you know.
I know, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after that, the
Well,
presenting a speech at the Capitol Hill was like amazing. I didn't know that I was the one chosen to present a speech, and the staff members
hmm,
didn't even know that they suggested for someone to be presenting. So while going up to the level of the like where we wanted to gather all together, while staying in the elevator, the staff member, one of them, came up to me and told me they want someone to present a speech. So can you write one like right now at the moment? It took me 2 minutes, like just the elevator ride, to write down my speech, and then I presented it in front
and
all
you presented
the
in
like
front of
secretary
everyone.
or there, and yeah, I did. And also like tech girls really emphasized on a point of networking. So I met a lot of people that are really inspiring, like in the campus, in the universities, at NASA Goddard Center, also at AT&T. Like we did a capstone event, which was the final event there. um, a lot of networking went on, and I also had the chance to present a speech representing all MENA region as well. Um, I think these are like the biggest moments there. And as well, like you can say the experience of getting to know different cultures and different mentalities, different mindsets. It was amazing, like having to get to know everyone there. And
Hmm.
I have also like met two, I can now call my best friends. Like it's a sisterhood. It really is.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And those moments, I'm sure, it's difficult to explain, but it's always
Yes,
there with you,
exactly.
and you can't really you can't really put it into words. You have to experience through it, and you can't repeat this experience. So it just belongs to you, and that's what makes it special. And
Yes, that's true.
you mentioned, I'm curious about like when your time at Google there for at least for a day. Did you think that you were going to go to Google, and has that like changed your mind? Like, okay, I'm gonna work for Google now. I'm gonna go there someday. Do you have an ambition that way?
Well, for the first part of the question, no, I didn't expect that I was being chosen for job shadowing there. Only 3 girls got to go there. So like I was waiting for my name to see where am I going to be job shadowing, because it's something nice. I haven't experienced such a thing before. So I was waiting for what company I'm gonna be there, or I'm gonna be in. So when they said that Google is one of the companies, I was hoping that I'll be one of the girls who's gonna be there.
Hmm.
And thank God, like it did work.
Your dream
So
came true.
yes, it was a great moment as well.
I bet. And any future plans to like work there?
Work at Google? No, not yet.
Not
But
yet. Still,
I personally wouldn't mind.
of course. I mean, yeah, still college and a lot more to go on with, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
My future
Well,
plan, like my future plan is I'm currently a first year university student and I'm studying nursing.
wow, that's so different.
So yeah, it is. I wanted a scientific base. So after that, I'm gonna go more into coding by getting a master degree in bioinformatics, which is a combination between nursing, or you can say biology, with programming and a bit of as well international affairs. The three
Hmm.
main three fields I'm really passionate about.
That's nice. And you could like, maybe, make a software or a robot that actually helps, especially during COVID-19, on like far distance doctors figuring that part out. I like it how you mentioned about networking with so many different kinds of people. I remember when I was there, it's a different feeling to look at everyone being so motivated and everyone have a different idea and everyone is excited about what they do. And when you talk to them, you yourself become excited. And I remember, like for me, one thing we had to do was we had to come up with like a plan. This is what we want to do when we get back. Do you guys also have to come up with a plan? This is what you want to do when you get back?
Yes, yes, we took several sessions about project planning, and that was because when we came back to our countries, we have to do a follow-on project to give back to our community. My project is still in progress due to everything like the situation in Lebanon and all what's going on here. It's postponed, but I'm still working on it. It's still in progress. My project is to help the people with special needs because here in my country, here in Lebanon, it's a bit different from some other places. People with special needs don't really have great opportunities. Their rights aren't respected as much as anywhere else. They aren't welcomed in the working field, in the work field. So my project was to shed light on this issue, trying to give back to my community, and it's basically giving them providing them with some coding or basic even basic coding skills or computer skills, because they aren't like it isn't something they're familiar with. So I'll start with basic computer skills and like have several levels until hopefully we'll reach coding. And after that, I'm gonna do a different workshop for like other people, the youth, and the assistants will be the mentally or the special needs, the people with special needs who I've trained before. So they're gonna be the mentors.
Wow.
Yes, and this way I'll be providing a workspace for them as well as providing them with or introducing them to the STEM field.
Wow. I mean, So you train them first, and then like you don't stop there, but then you give them a chance to like work, and then like to help
Yes,
others,
exactly.
and then later if they want, then they can go on to other STEM fields because now they've got the experience. That's that's
True.
that's
Mm,
that's very interesting. And
thank you.
what exactly, like, how would you start, especially when it comes to coding? Like, do you do like C? Do you straight away jump into Python, and do you jump into JavaScript? Is it more front end or back end? Have you thought about that?
I'm personally not that familiar with Python. A bit with HTML and CSS, a bit with JavaScript, a bit with Arduino, but I haven't like I haven't professioned, you can say, one of them. It's a bit of each. But
Gotcha.
for my project, I'm gonna start with basic computer skills, and after that, starting with Word documents, starting with Excel, and then we can like Microsoft, and then we can start by Arduino at first because I think it's the easiest, and then jump to the next level.
That's nice, especially when starting from nothing, right? Some of those
Yes,
kids, I can
exactly.
imagine they wouldn't have the chance, or they wouldn't have the opportunity to even start. Yeah, just being that person who can give them the push. Yeah, let's do this together. And here's I'm really curious about, like, you'll need like a lot of computers, right? You'll need like a lot of facilities, um, and you'll need like to set up a schedule sometime. Have you thought about that? Like, where did you think you're gonna do that? Because
Yes, of course I
it's
did.
quite a big project.
Yes, exactly. There's an institution for special needs in a village near my village, and I have got in contact already with them, and they approved on my idea, and they're gonna provide all the computers or the laptops, and also the room to give the lessons and the sessions there. I've talked with some of like the people with special needs there in the institution, and you can see that they are really motivated about the idea. They really liked it. Some of them are kind of familiar with laptops from like their homes, their family members or their relatives, but they really are like interested in getting to know more about it,
I see. I guess they were just waiting for like someone to come in and
to
to
give them the
initiate
first
that
push.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're that person. Okay. We have a couple of questions here. I want to switch gears into that, but before that, with everything happening, with the unfortunate bombing, with the coronavirus and all, how is that like affecting you and your project going on? Do you have
Well,
to
my
like
project
pause a lot? Mm-hmm.
Yes, my project was paused for now. I'm like, it's still in progress. The planning is still in progress, but nothing happening. Um, Staying in quarantine and being like in lockdown at home, it has its negatives and its positives. But personally, for me, I think it's a choice you make for you to choose if you want the negative part or the positive part of it. And I have done so much recently, like just being throughout the lockdown. I have done a lot of workshops, attended several workshops. I've started with giving the video to shout my lifestyle,
Yep. Yep.
and spreading the positivity around. And that was the, like, you can say, the opening step for my
Wow.
journey throughout the
I'm so
quarantine.
glad. I'm so glad.
Yes, it's something that motivated me. At first, I was sitting thinking, there's nothing much we can do from home. So after the invitation I got to do this video and to submit it and be part of such an amazing project, this opened my eyes to something bigger, and let me see that yes, there is a chance and you can do a lot just staying at home. So would you
Well,
want me to go over
first
the
of
things
all,
I've done?
thank you so much. That means a lot to myself and my team. We've been
My
like going
pleasure.
through a lot of struggles, and we initially didn't expect like a lot of people to this, and we expected maybe a 100 or 200, and we got close to 6,000, 7,000 videos, and
That's
like
amazing.
like the 180 countries, and our whole team was overwhelmed. They were like, "Whoosh, what do we do?" But we are really happy, that at least uh, by doing this kind of projects and ideas, people get to share a bit of their stories. And hey, now we've connected this way. So thanks so much for saying that. I'll pass it on to the team, and it just means a lot to all of us.
My pleasure. What you're
Mm,
doing is amazing, truly.
thank you, thank you. And one more thing, all our team, we've got like a good um, pool of mix of team members. So we've got like people who are into coding, people who are into AI, machine learning, people who are into kids. In fact, one of our team members is working with a coding school. So if you ever need any help, or if you ever need anything at all, feel free to you can just contact me. I myself do a
Wow, thank you.
little bit of
That's
coding.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And for me, these kinds of projects make me feel alive. While you're busy with school
Hmm.
and you're busy outside, these kind of things give you that fulfillment and that satisfaction inside. So I'm more than happy to help, regardless of if you need anything. I mean, go ahead, text me, and
Thanks
we'll
a lot.
figure something out. I really mean that. Okay, I really mean that.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so I wanna jump into some of the questions we have from our team, our audience here. First question, the one that is really popular, is that coding requires a lot of time. And how did you start? What was your first? Was it something that you took in high school, or was it something that you started off just as a hobby?
Well, I didn't start with coding at high school at all. I've started coding like last summer. After Solve 24, I've started with Arduino, and it only stopped there. I didn't continue the research, or my interest didn't really spark right there. But throughout my experience in Tech Girls and getting to know more about encryption, hacking, cybersecurity, building websites, and like working with JavaScript, making a game out of nothing. So that was when my interest really sparked. And after that, I just started at home by myself, watching YouTube tutorials and like signing up on some courses, online courses. Um, Recently, I've joined a workshop, a workshop. It was called All Girls Code. Um, and they taught us how to use HTML and how to use CSS. And I've built my own website. It was like the first step ever doing HTML. I've built a game uh, throughout my experience in Tech Girls, but I didn't really develop it. I was just giving it a try. That's all with coding. I'm not much like I didn't dive deep into it, but I can say that
Hmm,
I've started my research like recently.
gotcha. And it's also very powerful, right? Like how you can do so much. It's up to you,
Yes,
literally.
that's
Whatever you
true.
want to do, you can do.
Exactly.
That's
Hmm.
like the whole power when it comes with it. And would you say like your family played a crucial part in helping you constantly try out new things?
Yes, sure. Like I got a lot of support from my family, and I really appreciate that. Whenever I come up with an idea, I quickly go to my mother and I like say the idea to her, and she's like, "Yes, study that more, do some research, and why not just apply it?" And then I come back to my father and my sisters, and they really like my ideas. Like they do support me on what I do. Sometimes I'm more of like me person, so I don't really share my ideas with my family a lot. But it's usually my mother who supports me the most throughout my journey in the STEM field, especially.
Nice. I mean, I like your mom earlier when you mentioned like she was holding out the camera and when you were coming in. Do you still have that video? Do you
Yes,
still have that with you?
yeah, I do have it. I haven't showed it to anyone yet.
Oh my, then this is the perfect time. We should like insert it over here. Yasmina coming back home. You want to do that? If you want, I
Uh,
mean, we could
no,
like put
no,
it in.
I prefer not to because I came from school, and you know how you come from school exhausted. And
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
started crying, and I'd rather
Ah,
keep it to myself.
mhm. And like in 20 years, 30 years later, when you look back, then wow, I've got
Yes,
this.
yes.
That's very powerful. And I'm trying to like, wow, that's so nice of her to actually like document that journey. And another thing I wanted to ask you, um, I saw like throughout your journey especially, have you ever thought like you wanted to record every single parts of that particular moment, like make a like a long YouTube video, for instance, and then post it and share with everyone what that was about? I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yes, it would be. I have thought of that, but I don't really have like much footage of my journey there. I'd rather like live the moment than take pictures and videos. But I do have some, and I have thought of the idea of starting a YouTube channel. Because recently I have like several videos, starting with my speech, my at AT&T, and my other speech at Capitol Hill. Recently, I've made a video for. A program. It's called Youth Leadership Program. They were accepting videos about youth engagement, and it was for me. It was the perfect moment to share my point of view on that, with all what's happening here and the situation here in Lebanon. For youth engagement, really took a great part in like helping there in Beirut, and trying to start from nothing, like going there and even like taking a can out of the street, or wiping out some broken glass. It's all about youth engagement here. So I have several videos, and I've been thinking of starting my channel and like talking a bit more about my
Yeah,
experience.
absolutely. I think you do great. Like you're awesome on camera. Put it in, and like
Thank
you've
you.
got so many different stories, so many different experiences, and just putting that in, a lot of people could learn a lot about how life was for you. And I'm sure it's even right now you've already inspired a lot of young Lebanese or young youth from around the world, and that's like an awesome way to push out even more. Well, if you ever go
Hopefully, I
on,
really hope that I do inspire some people.
you already are. You know,
I hope to be an
sometimes
inspiration.
no, no. Here's what I'm saying. You already are. A lot of people actually know
Thank
you,
you.
even from our audience ourselves. A lot of people know you, and sometimes we may not look at it that way, but a lot of people do. And of course, you want to take it to the next level. If you ever happen to completely do that, make sure you let us know. We'll see what we can do from
Yeah,
there.
sure.
Absolutely. Another thing that okay, I want to switch another gear here. What do you think about like the future, especially for young people who don't try out too much? Because we all started from there. Sometimes we wonder, if we try this, will it work? Will it not? But the difference is that you and I and a few others is we just try no matter what, and somehow it works, and that's a good thing. Some people they don't try. Why do you think that is?
I think they don't really like get the support needed, or there's a huge problem that I used to have, and it's not believing in my own abilities. And that's a really huge problem for me. And when I decided to do so, everything changed. And it actually was one of the questions in the interview, while interviewing people in the US Embassy
Oh boy, I don't
for
want to
the
turn this.
program in
I don't
TechGirls.
want to turn this into an interview, but anyways, go on.
Yeah, it was one of the questions. What was your biggest mistake? And my answer was like the first thing that came up to my mind was that I didn't used to believe in my abilities. So for the people who don't believe in their own abilities, it's time to do so, and it's time to like put this curiosity into action. Anything you're curious about, just dive deep into it. Don't let anyone stop you. Um, it's not gonna be easy. I'm not saying it's gonna be like that simple and straight to the point. You're gonna face a lot of maybe barriers, but that's the point of it. Hopping like in front of these barriers and overcoming them. that's where it all starts. That's when you start to feel like you're powerful and you can do like anything that you really put your mind into.
Hmm. And the rewards are also very, very nice. Knowing a lot of people from around the world, at the same time being able to try out new things. I think all that makes the fear feel not real.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Hmm. Nice. And what are you thinking about going into after this? Now you're back, and then you're going to start off your project. At the same time, you're doing nursing, so that's going to be quite a struggle on both sides. Is that something that you think you want to do it long term? You want to be a nurse, or you want to like branch out more into like how you mentioned into your passion, and that is the route that you want to do. Have you thought about that, or it's still kind of
Yes,
early to tell?
I'm a specialist, not a generalist. So I have everything planned
Oh wow.
ahead of me.
Okay.
Like I've planned my future for 30 years ahead. And
30 years ahead.
yes,
No
I'm
way.
such a
Okay, tell
planner.
me, tell
Yeah.
me.
So at first, I wanted to do forensic science, but then now I've changed into nursing. For I found that I'm really passionate about giving back to my community, and I think this major, studying nursing, is getting a bit into the science and STEM field as well as giving back to your community all at once. And a different field that I'm really interested in is international affairs and international relations. I really like networking, as I've mentioned before. And because of that, I think that like I can merge all three of them. I can merge the coding part, the nursing part, and as well as the international affairs all in one major, and that would be bioinformatics. So that's my
Okay.
plan, finish nursing and then bioinformatics. And of course, I'll keep working on my project, hoping that it will turn into an NGO someday. After that, I,
And this is like where in your 30 years? So this is like within the next 10 years?
yes, 10 years, you can say so.
Okay.
7 to 10, it's in that range. And after that, I plan to join the UN and be a UN ambassador, hopefully. That's
I
not
mean, I'm
really.
sure you can by this track get everything done
Thank you.
in there
That's a
we'll
huge
send the invite
motivation.
over. Mm,
And I also plan that when like I've reached all my goals, these goals, because of course goals just keep on showing, and whenever you finish one, another one will show up, and you'll find yourself curious about a new major or a new thing to learn about. And after finishing these steps, I plan to have my own organization or my own institution for the elderly, because it's also part of giving back to my community and putting my leadership skills into action, and as well as my nursing skills into action. So it's a project is it's both a business and an organization to help back my community. Of course, I'll be having a different job as well. And after all that, I plan to settle down and have my family, have a family, and like start a new life. That's it, I
you
think.
really do have all of that planned. Well, uh, well,
Yes,
I've
it took
got
a
nothing
while.
to say. I've got nothing to say, but like, no, very well done. Actually, usually
Thank
people
you.
don't usually look up to 30 years. I've heard, 10, 15, but that's
Yes,
nice.
I've heard
Hopefully
that I'm
everything.
crazy.
I don't think that's
Some of
crazy.
my friends say I'm crazy, and that like I do have a planner. I plan everything. Like I plan my days day by day. I'm a
Mm,
really organized like thinker, you can say. So all my thoughts are put down on paper, not to miss anything, and like to stay on track. That doesn't stop me from being like a social person. I'm not the type of person who just like sits down in front of books or in front of a laptop all day. La, I do manage to I do have like time management. I can do all of that and as well meet some friends at the end of the day or some family gatherings. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So
sure.
that's
I
all.
mean, yeah, I find it very, very, very different. I mean, I guess everyone is different in their own ways, and I don't see anything wrong with that. Uh, for me, I would say mine is a bit different. I like to plan also, but I don't like plan everything down to the fine last
Hmm.
detail. Um, I don't know. I don't think I can do that. If I do that, I'll go crazy here. But I don't know. Everyone is different. You speak a lot about giving back to the community. Why is that? Like, has since when did you like have the thought? I want to give a lot back to the community. I want to do this. I want to do that.
Again,
How did that like?
it all started like 3 years ago. Once I saw that I can be like with the skills I have, the skills I develop day after day, I can put that into action. I can put that and help people around me, whether it's a business or a startup or a project, a product, whatever it is. I can also like I can manage to keep the empathy within it, to keep the humanitarian part in what I do. And starting from that, or I have joined several organizations. I am part of an NGO, which is called Donner Saint Couple, which is a blood donating organization here in Lebanon. I have like throughout the coming like the past few days, I've went to Beirut and I've helped. I'm with being engaged in your community, and that's where it all like pops up that you have to give back, because I think that all what I'm receiving, all the opportunities I'm getting, I have to give something in return.
That's very noble. That's very nice. Nice to hear that. And
Thank you.
Yasmina, you're incredibly kind, talented, and of course, uh, very, very bright future ahead. And
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what you're gonna be up to next. I'm definitely gonna be, following you up. For our audience members here, what's the best way for them to keep track of your upcoming activities and events? Should we get them to look at your Instagram or your website, for instance? Where is
Yes,
the
my
place that you constantly post?
well, Instagram. You can say it's Instagram. I
Gotcha.
put everything there.
Okay, so for our audience members listening, until Yasmina decides to open up a YouTube channel, we are going to look at her on Instagram. Until she does that, once she does, I will update to all of you.
Yes,
All
I'll
right,
keep you
Yasmina,
updated.
we are almost reaching towards our end of the time here. I definitely want to be mindful, and I've had a fantastic conversation here with you. Is there anything else that you want to add? Maybe a new book coming out or something. I think you should definitely document it.
No, I haven't reached that. Haven't reached
No.
that yet. But
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not
I
good
get
at.
you.
I'm not that good at writing. But
Is that is that
that's
like
a
in
great
your third
idea.
year?
I can.
You should put it somewhere, within that.
I've done something throughout this quarantine, and I've been invited to write a part or a chapter of a book. The book is called COVID-19's Diaries. So I talked about my journey throughout the lockdown and how COVID-19 affected me, and how I stayed I tried to stay positive throughout the this whole journey. There's nothing left I can say. All I want to say is a huge thank you for having me here, and for
Of course.
everyone listening all around the world. Stay curious is all I can say. Stay curious and believe in your abilities. Thank you.
Nicely said. All right. Thank you, Yasmina. And that will be it for today. For all our audience members, be sure to check out all the links down. I'll link it all down so you can go follow Yasmina up. I'm definitely going to be following her, and just to see what else she comes up with. I'm sure there's a lot of interesting things coming along. But until then, this is it for today's shout show, and we hope that you've definitely gained a lot of value from that. Take care, and Yasmin and I will say bye bye right now. See you and see you
Goodbye.
soon.
See you.